every single day, you're making a decision that you don't even realize you're making. You're deciding who gets access to your mind. You're deciding who controls your emotions. You're deciding who has the power to determine whether you walk with confidence or with doubt. And too many people are giving that power away for free. One negative comment ruins their entire day. One failure convinces them to quit. One person says you can't do it, and suddenly they start believing it. But hear this. Nobody has the authority to define your future unless you hand them that authority. The world is always going to have opinions. People will judge your dreams before they understand your vision. They'll laugh while you're building, criticize while you're growing, and question you while you're struggling. That's what people do. But your job is not to stop people from talking. Your job is to stop listening to voices that don't belong in your future. Think about how much energy gets wasted trying to prove people wrong. Hours spent arguing. Days spent worrying, months spent replaying conversations in your head, years spent chasing approval from people who never intended to support you in the first place. Imagine what your life would look like if all that energy was invested into becoming stronger instead of becoming accepted. Your peace is too expensive to trade for someone's temporary opinion. There are people who wake up every morning already defeated because they are waiting for validation before they take action. They want everyone to believe in them first. They want applause before the performance. They want respect before the sacrifice. But life doesn't work that way. You earn confidence by keeping promises to yourself, not by collecting compliments from other people. Stop looking outside for permission to become who you were created to be. You cannot build an extraordinary life while living under the control of ordinary opinions. Every time someone criticizes you, you have a choice. You can carry those words like chains, or you can use them like fuel. Every setback can either become your excuse or your education. Every obstacle can either break your spirit or build your character. The decision belongs to you. Strength isn't pretending that pain doesn't exist. Strength is refusing to let pain become your identity. There will be betrayal. There will be disappointment. There will be moments when people you trusted walk away. There will be moments when your hard work goes unnoticed. But if your identity depends on how people treat you, then your happiness will always be temporary. The strongest people aren't the ones who never get hurt. They're the ones who refuse to stay hurt. Look around. The people who achieve great things aren't wasting time responding to every insult. They're too busy improving. They're too busy learning. They're too busy preparing for opportunities that average people never even see because they're distracted by drama. While others are fighting battles on social media, they're fighting battles in the gym, in the classroom, in the office, in their business, and inside their own minds. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention stays on negativity, your future shrinks. If your attention stays on purpose, your future expands. You have to become emotionally disciplined. That means not allowing every inconvenience to become a crisis. It means refusing to lose sleep over people who aren't losing sleep over you. It means understanding that silence is often stronger than an argument, and consistency is louder than revenge. People will misunderstand you. Let them. People will underestimate you. Let them. People will doubt you. Let them. Your responsibility isn't to convince everybody. Your responsibility is to become somebody through relentless work, undeniable discipline, and unwavering focus. Remember this, every minute you spend trying to change someone's opinion is a minute you could have spent changing your life. Protect your mind like it's your greatest investment, because it is. Be careful what you watch, what you listen to, who you spend time with, and what conversations you allow to live inside your head. The strongest fortress isn't built with bricks, it's built with disciplined thoughts. Once your mind becomes strong, distractions lose their power. Criticism loses its sting. Fear loses its grip. One day, the same people who question your potential may notice your success. But by then, their approval won't matter anymore because you'll have learned something far more valuable. You'll have learned that your confidence was never supposed to come from them. Stop giving away your power. Own your mornings. Own your attitude. Own your choices. Own your effort. Own your response to adversity. Own your future. The moment you stop allowing other people's opinions to control your emotions is the moment your real growth begins. Walk with purpose. Stand with conviction. Keep moving when nobody is clapping. Keep believing when nobody understands. Keep building when nobody is watching, because the greatest victory isn't proving everyone else wrong. The greatest victory is becoming so mentally strong that nothing outside of you has the power to stop what's inside of you. Most people don't lose because they're weak. They lose because they react before they think. One bad comment changes their mood. One setback destroys their confidence. One failure convinces them to quit. They let every challenge pull them in a different direction until they no longer recognize the person they wanted to become. If you want to build a life that stands above average, then you have to master something that very few people ever master. You have to control your emotions before your emotions control you. Life will test your patience every single day. Someone will disrespect you. Someone will doubt your abilities. Someone will take credit for your work. Plans will fall apart. Doors will close. Opportunities will disappear. None of these moments are the real test. The real test is what happens inside your mind after those moments occur. Do you allow frustration to become your leader, or do you choose discipline over impulse? Anyone can react. That takes no training. It takes strength to stay calm when everything around you is falling apart. It takes discipline to remain focused when everyone else is distracted. It takes maturity to respond with wisdom instead of anger. Your emotions are powerful, but they should never become your master. Feel disappointment, but don't live there. Feel fear, but don't let it make your decisions. Feel pain, but don't let it define your identity. Every emotion has a purpose, but none of them should have permanent control over your future. The strongest people are not emotionless. They simply know how to lead their emotions instead of following them. Think about how many opportunities disappear because people lose control for just one moment. One emotional decision can destroy years of hard work. One angry response can end an important relationship. One impulsive action can close a door that may never open again. That's why emotional discipline is one of the greatest forms of personal power. When pressure rises, average people panic. When pressure rises, disciplined people prepare. Pressure doesn't create character, it reveals it. If you train your mind every day, then when difficult moments arrive, your response won't be based on panic. It will be based on preparation. That's why discipline matters long before the battle begins. You don't build mental strength during the storm. You build it before the storm arrives. Every morning is an opportunity to train your mind. Wake up with purpose. Keep promises to yourself. Finish what you start. Do difficult things even when nobody is watching. Every small act of discipline strengthens your ability to stay composed when life becomes uncomfortable. The person who controls their emotions controls their direction. Don't allow temporary feelings to make permanent decisions. There will be mornings when you don't feel motivated. Show up anyway. There will be days when you feel discouraged. Keep working anyway. There will be nights when you feel exhausted. Keep believing anyway. Feelings come and go like the weather. Purpose stays too. Many people confuse emotion with truth. Just because you feel like giving up doesn't mean you should. Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you're incapable. Just because you feel alone doesn't mean you're losing. Feelings change. Your mission should not. Your future deserves decisions made from conviction, not from temporary emotions. The world rewards consistency, not emotional swings. Success belongs to the person who keeps moving whether they feel inspired or not. Champions don't wait for perfect moves. They create momentum through disciplined action. They understand that excellence is built one choice at a time. Every time you refuse to react with anger, you become stronger. Every time you stay focused despite criticism, you become wiser. Every time you remain calm under pressure, you become more dangerous in the best possible way. People expect you to lose control. Surprise them with composure. People expect you to quit. Surprise them with persistence. People expect you to argue. Surprise them with results. Rizzo silenced conversations that emotions never could stop, giving every person the ability to disturb your peace. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every battle deserves your energy. Learn the difference between what deserves your focus and what deserves your silence. Silence is not weakness. Patience is not passivity. Self-control is not fear. These are the habits of someone who understands that protecting their mind is more valuable than winning meaningless arguments. Train yourself to pause before responding. Ask yourself one question: will this decision move me closer to the life I want? If the answer is no, let it go. Don't let pride rob you of progress. Don't let ego steal your future. The strongest person in the room is often the one who doesn't need to prove anything. Confidence doesn't shout. Discipline doesn't complain. Real strength stays steady while chaos surrounds it. Your greatest battle is not against difficult people. It is against the version of yourself that wants to react without thinking, complain without acting, and quit without fighting. Win that battle and every other battle becomes easier. Choose discipline over drama. Choose purpose over pride. Choose progress over emotional comfort, because the moment you learn to master your emotions instead of being mastered by them, you become the kind of person that obstacles cannot intimidate, criticism cannot distract, failure cannot define, and pressure cannot break. That is where true strength begins, and that is where an unstoppable life is built. Every great dream will attract distractions. The bigger your purpose, the louder the noise becomes. People will offer opinions you never asked for. They will tell you what you should do, what you cannot do, and why your goals are unrealistic. Social media will tempt you to compare your journey with someone else's highlight reel. Problems will appear when you're finally making progress. None of this is an accident. Distraction is the enemy of greatness. If your attention is constantly stolen, Your potential will never be fully developed. Your future is built by what you consistently focus on, not by what constantly demands your attention. Too many people wake up with goals, but spend their entire day reacting to distractions. They check notifications before checking on themselves. They know more about other people's lives than they know about their own progress. They invest hours in conversations that produce nothing while their dreams wait for another day. Every distraction may seem small on its own, but together they steal years from your life. The truth is simple. You cannot build an extraordinary future with an average level of focus. If you want uncommon results, you must develop uncommon discipline. There will always be noise. There will always be critics. There will always be people who misunderstand your vision because they cannot see what you see. That's not your problem. Your responsibility is not to convince everyone else. Your responsibility is to keep moving, even when nobody understands why you're moving. The mission is bigger than the opinions. The purpose is greater than the applause. The destination is worth more than temporary comfort. Every successful person reaches a point where they stop chasing approval and start chasing excellence. They realize that every yes to distraction is a no to their future. Every unnecessary conversation costs valuable energy. Every hour spent complaining delays the life they're trying to build. Protect your focus the way you would protect your most valuable possession, because that's exactly what it is. Imagine an athlete preparing for the biggest competition of their life. They don't spend training sessions arguing with people who doubt them. They don't skip practice because someone criticized them. They don't waste their strength proving themselves in conversations. They prove themselves through preparation. They let their work speak long before they ever do. Your preparation is your loudest response. When you become obsessed with your mission, you stop reacting to every opinion. You understand that not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every opportunity deserves your time. Not every friendship deserves unlimited access to your energy. Discipline requires saying no to good things so you can say yes to great things. Success demands sacrifice. It demands quiet mornings when everyone else is sleeping. It demands lonely evenings when everyone else is celebrating. It demands consistency when nobody is watching. It demands faith when the results haven't appeared yet. Most people quit because they become distracted by how far they still have to go. They forget how far they've already come. They compare chapter 2 of their story to someone else's chapter 20. Comparison destroys confidence because it shifts your attention away from your own progress. Run your race, fight your battle, build your future. Your mission was never designed to look like someone else's. Every single day, ask yourself one question. Did I move closer to my goal today? That's the only competition that matters. Yesterday's version of you should be the only person you're trying to outperform. Stop allowing small problems to become giant distractions. A difficult morning doesn't mean it's a bad life. A disappointing week doesn't mean your future is ruined. A single failure doesn't erase years of growth. Keep your eyes on the mission. Pressure will come, delays will come, unexpected setbacks will come. But every obstacle is testing one thing, your commitment. Anyone can stay focused when life is easy. The real leaders stay focused when life becomes uncomfortable. They understand that emotions change, circumstances change, but purpose remains. Your purpose has to become louder than your excuses. When your reason is powerful enough, your obstacles become smaller. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this preparing me for? That simple shift changes everything. Instead of seeing barriers, you begin seeing opportunities to grow stronger. Distraction whispers, purpose calls. Fear tells you to slow down. Vision tells you to keep going. The voices will always compete for your attention. The one you feed becomes the one that controls your future. Guard your mornings, guard your mindset, guard your habits, guard your circle. Every environment either strengthens your mission or weakens it. Spend time with people who challenge you to become better, not people who constantly invite you to become comfortable. Comfort creates average. Discipline creates excellence. Every champion understands that focus is not about doing more things. It's about doing fewer things with greater commitment. It's about removing everything that steals momentum. It's about refusing to trade long-term success for short-term entertainment. One day people will ask how you achieved what seemed impossible. They will see the success, but not the thousands of moments when you chose discipline over distraction. They will admire the results, but never fully understand the sacrifices. That's okay. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. You only need to stay faithful to your mission. So silence the noise. Turn down the distractions. Stop chasing approval. Stop responding to every opinion. Stop giving your attention to things that cannot improve your future. Wake up with purpose. Walk with intention. Work with intensity. Finish what you start. Stay committed when motivation disappears. Stay focused when distractions multiply. Stay disciplined when progress feels slow. Because the people who accomplish extraordinary things are not the ones with the easiest path. They are the ones who refuse to let the noise become louder than the mission. And when your purpose becomes greater than every distraction around you, nothing can stop the person you are becoming. Life is not going to ask if you're ready before it tests you. It won't send a warning before the storm arrives. One day, everything seems to be going according to plan, and the next day you're facing disappointment, rejection, loss, or failure. That is the reality of life. The question is not whether challenges will come. The question is whether you will become the kind of person who stands firm when they do. Most people spend their lives asking for an easier journey. They hope for fewer problems, fewer setbacks, fewer obstacles. But real growth begins when you stop asking life to become easier and start demanding that you become stronger. Because a weak mindset will struggle even with small problems, while a strong mindset can overcome challenges that seem impossible. Strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build one difficult decision at a time. Every challenge you survive adds another layer to your character. Every setback you overcome teaches you resilience. Every failure you learn from makes you wiser. The pain you're experiencing today may become the very foundation of your strength tomorrow, but only if you refuse to let it defeat you. Too many people allow one bad season to convince them that their entire story is over. They experience one rejection and stop believing in themselves. They lose one opportunity and stop chasing their dream. They make one mistake and begin calling themselves a failure. But one chapter never defines the entire book. Your current struggle is not your final destination. The strongest people are not those who have avoided pain. They are the ones who have learned how to carry it without allowing it to steal their purpose. They understand that scars are not signs of weakness. They are reminders that they kept moving when quitting would have been easier. Every day you have a decision to make. You can allow hardship to harden your heart, or you can allow hardship to strengthen your spirit. You can become bitter, or you can become better. Both choices require pain. Only one leads to growth. Stop running from discomfort. Discomfort is where discipline is built. Discomfort is where confidence grows. Discomfort is where leaders are created. The greatest version of yourself is waiting on the other side of everything you've been trying to avoid. Think about the strongest buildings in the world. They are designed to withstand earthquakes, storms, and powerful winds because they were built on a solid foundation. Your mind must become that foundation. If your confidence is built on praise, criticism will destroy it. If your confidence is built on success, failure will break it. But if your confidence is built on character, discipline, and purpose, nothing outside of you will have the power to shake what's inside of you. Your foundation determines your future. Build your life on habits, not feelings. Build your confidence on preparation, not popularity. Build your identity on purpose, not opinions. There will always be people who misunderstand your journey. Some will laugh while you're struggling. Others will celebrate only after you've succeeded. Do not let either reaction control you. Applause should never become your motivation, and criticism should never become your excuse. Stay focused whether people notice you or not. Stay disciplined whether people support you or not. Stay committed whether progress is fast or slow. The strongest individuals don't need constant encouragement because their purpose is stronger than temporary emotions. Pressure has a way of revealing what already exists inside you. When life becomes difficult, your habits take over. That's why you cannot wait until adversity arrives before deciding to become mentally strong. Train your mind every single day. Keep your promises to yourself. Finish difficult tasks. Wake up with intention. Push yourself beyond comfort. Every disciplined action prepares you for battles you cannot yet see. Mental toughness is earned through repetition. It's built when you continue after you're tired. It's built when you remain calm during uncertainty. It's built when you refuse to quit after repeated failures. It's built when your actions remain consistent, even when your emotions are not stopped, expecting confidence to appear before you take action. Confidence grows because of action. Every challenge you face proves to yourself that you are capable of more than you believed yesterday. Every obstacle you overcome becomes evidence that you can overcome the next one. You are stronger than your fear. You are greater than your setbacks. You are bigger than your excuses. But none of that matters unless you choose to act like it. The world will always try to distract you with fear, comparison, and doubt. Protect your mind from anything that weakens your determination. Be careful about the voices you allow into your life. Some people speak limitation because limitation is all they've ever known. Don't let someone else's fear become your future. Choose your environment wisely. Choose your thoughts carefully. Choose your habits intentionally. These choices shape the person you become. There will be mornings when everything inside you wants to stop. There will be moments when quitting feels reasonable. There will be days when the finish line seems too far away. Those are the moments that separate ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. Anyone can keep going when everything is easy. The people who achieve greatness keep moving when every excuse tells them to stand still. Refuse to let temporary pain create permanent surrender. Refuse to let disappointment become your identity. Refuse to let fear become your prison. Stand up one more time than life knocks you down. Fight one more round than your doubts tell you to. Believe one more day when success still feels invisible. One day you'll look back at the battles that almost broke you and you'll realize they actually built you. They gave you wisdom, patience, courage, endurance, and a level of confidence that comfort could never produce. Become the kind of person who remains steady when chaos surrounds them. Become the kind of person whose peace cannot be stolen by criticism, whose confidence cannot be destroyed by failure, and whose purpose cannot be shaken by obstacles. Build a mind so disciplined that pressure becomes fuel, setbacks become lessons, and adversity becomes your greatest teacher. Because when your character becomes stronger than your circumstances, when your discipline becomes stronger than your emotions, and when your purpose becomes stronger than your fear, nothing outside of you will ever be powerful enough to stop the unstoppable person you have chosen to become.